Okay, so what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Milan Boys podcast. We're sitting here again with Aff and Ash. How you doing, guys?
I'm great.
Good.
Good to be with you for another episode just before the international break. This is episode number 8, and we call it a bumpy ride. It's been a bumpy ride so far. It's going to be even more bumpy, I guess, as we go on. So before we go ahead, just let you know that we have our episodes on all major platforms, and you can find us on Twitter at Milan Boys Pod and on Instagram at Milan Boys Podcast. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get to it. So we have explained before once more one time that usually we do one 90-minute podcast with 2 segments of 45 minutes each, like half times, and we did recap. The first segment is recap of the previous games, and the next segment is the previews of coming games and other stuff surrounding Milan. But next week is the international break, so we won't have any games. So after recaps of Milan and United and Fiorentina Milan, we're gonna discuss international break and those players that are called up, and also discuss what subject we want to discuss during the international break, and if we're gonna release any episodes at all. We're thinking about doing it. So yeah. Okay, let's start with the first match that was on Thursday against United, the return leg that was played at San Siro, and it was a weird game. So it was a game that we felt like we had it under control, but the lineup was not a pretty one going into this match. It was the weirdest lineup so far that I've ever seen.
It was the first time we played without an attacker.
Yeah, and we had Castillejo on top. So let's talk about the lineup to begin with. What the hell was Pioli thinking?
I mean, he
What do you
didn't
guys
have
think?
many options to choose. I mean, Leao was injured, right? And Zlatan just came from injury. He couldn't start.
So Leao was injured. I don't know why he was injured all of a sudden. He wasn't injured the game before, so he must have
injured in
got a
training.
knock during training.
And Rebic is also out.
So Pioli decided to have the worst player in the team starting as a center forward, which is Castillejo. And looking back and with the after the game, my thoughts surrounding the lineup is like it was a ridiculous lineup. I don't understand why Mate played instead of Tonali. We didn't have anything going forward, and Hakan was totally handicapped in that game. But regarding Castillejo, playing him as a center forward, this is his brain. I think Pioli. I'm going to be honest, man. I think something is wrong with Pioli, man. During 2021, his lineups have been so goddamn experimental. So why do you not play with Ibrahimovic? Why you decide to bring in Ibrahimovic when there's 30 minutes on the clock and you don't start him? If he's fit enough to start and you know that he will not continue after if he have 45 minutes in his legs, let him play 45 minutes. Let us at least put a goal in the first half or do something.
Well, apparently he was not fit enough to start this game. That's why he.
So he was not fit to start, but he was fit to play like 40 minutes coming in the second half. That he was fit for
20-25 minutes he played.
So if he were going to extra time, he would play another 30 minutes. So Ibrahimovic was fit to play 60 minutes according to Pioli. According to Pioli, he risked Ibrahimovic for 60 minutes, but he didn't start with Ibrahimovic to make a goal and put the pressure on United and then capitalize on that. So he started with Castillejo, a player he doesn't contribute anything to the team. So going off right from the get-go, I blame 100% Pioli for having this ridiculous lineup. This was a joke of a lineup. And I have questioned his lineup in previous games also. I think it's enough. I'm not gonna protect this old man just because he had a great half a season in 2020. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I think he's a mediocre coach. I'm 100% sure he will be a mediocre coach after he's done with Milan, and I hope he stay with us is no longer than this year. I don't want to see him coaching us in the future. If we take a Champions League spot and end up at fourth place, everything we have right now is we had injuries before and we never played such a trash football that we are displaying right now. He doesn't even motivate the good players to play good anymore. I'm coming off hard on Pioli because I've been thinking about this a lot. There's no way to protect this man. He's embarrassing, man. We've been losing every important match. We've been losing every Serie A game that is of importance to us, and we are also knocked out of Europa League. I don't give a shit about the Europa League. But this old man can't come out every goddamn important game, lose it, and then now he starts to complain about, yeah, we have too many injuries. What the hell? We were losing games when we didn't have this many injuries. We were losing games when we usually won with the rotated team. So just because he comes off and wins a game against, I'm so mad, against Fiorentina, we barely won that game. What the hell is this old man up to? Fuck him, man. I'm done with Pioli. Man, I was listening today to other podcasts. Everybody was talking about the form of the team, the players, etc., etc. People are like pointing a little bit of finger on Pioli, but there are some that are actually saying like, "Fuck this old man. What is he done? What has he done?" I'm so worried of these 10 games left. Everything we have is like, please, Zlatan, come back and do a miracle because this coach sucks. He can't build a team, man. He can't do shit. He's a fluke. His history is a fluke. Every team he's been at is a fluke. Let's be honest. Look at his resume. He embarrassed himself at Inter. He embarrassed himself at Fiorentina. He became our coach because we believed in like we could start off with him and get a better coach. And the only reason he stayed was we got some miracle standings in the league. Then that's it. And that ended at 21. When I see Castillejo getting playing time every goddamn game and then have him at a center forward, if you have a player on your bench, which is Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and according to you, Mr. Pioli, he can play 60 minutes, why the hell don't you start with him so that if United scores, then we have to chase our ass off and then eventually lose the goddamn game, which we did? Where's your answer to that, you old prick?
I just have to say I don't agree with this Pioli slander.
Yeah, you guys can. This is my rant. This is my rant, and I'm done. I'm going hard on this, man. Okay, say what you guys think about it. You can tell.
I don't think it's much Pioli's fault. I mean, we have been struck with many injuries. I mean, it's not his fault that he has to play Castillejo. He didn't have many choices. And Tonali,
I just gave you a choice. He had Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
I don't agree that he could play 60 minutes. Even if
but
he
why,
went
why,
to,
but why,
even
why,
if
why,
he, I agree. Even if he went to extra time, he would probably sub him off because he just came back from an injury, and the league.
No way he would sub him off in extra time after if the game would have been 1-1. If the game would have been 1-1, and we go to extra time, and we need to score, he wouldn't sub off United. Him against United, so he wouldn't. If he would signal that he can't continue,
and we had a league game days after that.
But the signal he was sending was like, I'm going in with Zlatan to get this game back, to make it 1-1 so we can go to extra time. So he was not signaling like, if we manage to score a goal and it's 1-1, then I'm going to sub him off. That's not usually what a coach do. If he was thinking that I might hurt him in extra time, he would not even play him at all. That's what I'm saying. If Pioli knew that, okay, he only have 20 or 30 minutes in his legs, then let him start the goddamn game and try to do something in the first half and then sub him out and then play defensive football. Don't go in and play defensive for 90 minutes and hoping for a 0-0 with a bunch of talentless piece of... Look at Hakan. Look at Castillejo. Look at Salemaker. Look at Meite. Look at these players that have never by themselves done anything in this team. Now they don't even have Zlatan on the field, and he's expecting against the Hungary United. This United was shit. I'm not saying that they were good or anything. This was the worst United I've ever seen. Against this crap United, he was thinking, okay, maybe I can defend this to a 0-0 or put in a counter. Put in a counter, really? With Castillejo? This handicap person that we saw against Fiorentina, he get a 1-1 with the goalie, and instead of running with the ball, with the through ball, he just stops and just turns around, try to pass. What the hell? This guy is brain dead. So that's why I'm saying, Pioli knows all of this.
But these are the players he has. I mean,
but his decision to not start with Ibrahimovic cost us the game. His tactics cost us the game. He's been costing us.
It's easy
all
to say that
games.
now when the game is over. But if Ibrahim started, then if we lost, you would say the exact opposite.
Listen, it's easy to say this. We lost against United. We knocked out. We lost against Napoli. We lost against Inter. We lost against Juventus. So we've been losing all the important games, and we barely make it against other teams. We're fighting our ass off against that Sparta, whatever they were. And why the hell are we protecting this guy? Who the fuck is he? Who the hell is he? Because he gave us a half a season of a performance. It's because I've always said it. I'm going to let you speak, Ash. So I'm sorry. I'm just going to finish with this. You know, I've been critical of Pioli, but not this much. But now I'm going off on him because I've been saying it, man. It's not because of him we're even where we are. Fuck him. He ain't shit. We're only where we are because we have Zlatan and we have a couple of good players that had a good 2020 in them. That's it. Half a season, good performances, and Zlatan Ibrahimovic. But this coach ain't shit. Maybe he's a good guy, a nice guy. People like him. He's likable, but he's not talented enough. He loses tactically to even mediocre coaches. He's not. It doesn't even. He lost to Gattuso. Goddammit, a defensive coach like Gattuso beat us. He lost to Atalanta 3-0. He lost the derby. He lost the Coppa Italia. Man, we've been losing everything with him. Coppa Italia, 2-1 against Inter. Derby, 3-0 against Inter. Atlanta, 3-0. Juventus, 3-1. Spezia, 2-0. United, 1-0. A game you have to make sure you at least don't goddamn lose. You pathetic old man. I know we don't have the money to get a better coach.
It's easy to point at all the games we have lost, but what about all the games he has won for us? I mean, before him, we were a mid-table team before Pioli came. Now 21. We're in a Champions League spot.
We're fighting for Champions League spot, and we don't even know if we're going to make it. So in 21,
we are 10. We're how many points ahead? We will probably.
How many tough games has he won in 21? How many 21 games does he need to have a good performance? To win one good game in 21? How many games does Pioli need? To win a convincing good game against a good team? Has he won anything except that Roma 2-1 win? That is worth mentioning. What are we going to mention? Yeah, I'm looking. Are we gonna mention Hellas Verona? Are we going to mention Crotone? Are we going to mention
not Crotone, but Hellas Verona?
You're putting them up there with United, Juventus, Napoli, Inter, Lazio.
No, I'm not putting up but as we saw on this weekend, Juventus lost to Benevento.
Yeah, Juventus, Pirlo is shit.
Yeah, but a lot of teams have drawn against Hellas Verona. and we were also
I'm not
very.
saying Hellas is a bad team. I'm not saying I'm putting them up there as a team that it's not the top team, man. It's just this year they've been better. They've been good. Come on, that's not what I'm saying. Anyways, you can disagree, but I don't want this coach in the future. I really don't want him. If we go to Champions League, if we take a Champions League spot, I don't want to continue with this guy. We need to get a real coach. In Champions League, he gonna embarrass us. I'm 100% sure of it. We're gonna get knocked out of the group. I'm 100% sure of everything, every football I've seen. I'm 100% sure this guy will embarrass us in Europe. He will 100% do it because he has no experience. He has no tactics. He's just experimenting. He's guessing. He's talking with that other bald guy. There are two bald guys, Pioli and his twin. I don't know what his goddamn name is. He's always next to him. He's only talking to him, and these two are like two goddamn mediocre Serie B coaches that had coached a couple of teams before and never proved themselves to any standards. And all of a sudden, he's coaching Milan. He had a half a good season, and like, oh, Mr. Pioli, Father Pioli. Father Pioli, you can't even. You know he's famous for a half-season coach.
It's not half a season. It's almost a year and a half.
Okay,
and
let's him finish
the season.
He did the exact same thing with Inter. He did the exact same thing with Inter. He destroyed them after half of that season with Inter. So I'm not talking about 2019. Let's just say this season. He had a good half a season, and he had 2019 was like he started with the team.
You're trying to predict the future and saying he will destroy us just like he did Inter. But so far we're second in the table, and
not thanks to him, man. We're only second because we had a great 2020. But then that dip we had, we started to lose all the important games that we're supposed to win. We started to lose easy games that we're supposed to win. And the only reason other teams didn't catch up because they were losing also. They were performing bad also. Juventus were performing bad. They've been on a roller coaster ride all the season. The change code, Pirlo is a new coach, is a shit coach. They have a long-term investment in Pirlo, but at least they thought he would be better than this. So all I'm saying is the only reason we even at the second spot is because the other teams didn't perform. The only team that performed in 21 was Inter. Conte needed his time. He took his time, and then he performed, and now he's leading both teams with 9 points. I think he's leading Juventus now with 10 points. Anyways, that's what I'm saying. I'm just putting it out there, setting the record straight that I think this guy is a fluke. He will not make it in Milan, and he shouldn't be our coach in Champions League. Hell no.
Yeah, for me, it's too soon to judge him. Let's let him coach us for the rest of the season. And if we finish second, even third, to me, this is a successful season.
Milan is not a team that's supposed to lose every important match to good teams. We're not a team that's supposed to pick up the scraps on the table. That's what Pioli does now in 21. Pick up the scraps. Hellas Verona, Crotone, Bologna.
Yeah, but that means that he needs reinforcements in the summer because we have seen that what we lack. We lack good quality bench players. If our main squad is unfit or injured, then we can see what happens. He has to start Castillejo. And then Mate thing, I think he started Mate because Mate was good in the first leg against United. So I don't really blame him for that. But
I blame him for that. I blame him for that. Okay, imagine this. You have two players to choose from. You have Tonali and Mate. And you're thinking, okay, who am I going to pair with Kessie in this game? Mate had a good game in Old Trafford. And you're thinking, based on one game, I'm going to play him. And I'm not going to play Tonali, which I believe in more, that he could create something. So
I think
what does he base it? Basing it on one game or basing it on the overall performance of a player?
I think he based it on his physical strength.
Which cost us even a goal in front of the...
Yeah, it costed us a goal. And that's amazing.
Because he's been clumsy. We knew Mate was clumsy before this. He had a good performance in Old Trafford, but we knew he was clumsy. And he did it.
Yeah. But,
so he damaged us. So Mate When you have Tonali, a guy who fights, you yourself said, Ash, that Tonali had a good game.
Yeah, I wanted Tonali to start, but I mean, I can see why he chose
We were
Mata.
expecting Tonali to start. All of us were saying like Tonali would probably start, and all of a sudden we see Mate. And you see, listen, you see Mate, Salemaker, and Castillejo, and Haken, which you guys have said yourselves that he really, really, really sucks now. And we started him because we started him in such an important game to create something, and he didn't do shit against United. And then we have Salemaker and Castillejo and Mate. What are you expecting to do in 90 minutes with those players?
I didn't like the wings he chose, Krunic and Salamakers. Two pretty slow
We have never
players.
seen Krunic as a winger. That's why my mind blows. What
But
the
then
hell?
looking at the bench, I mean, we had so many injuries. So
Yeah, I mean,
listen. I'm just gonna put it. So I'm not saying Brahim would have done anything. I'm not saying he's even good, but he's at least a winger. He is at least offensive midfield.
he's on attacking midfield.
Yeah. So why the hell do you put Krunic as a winger? Why you want to defend for 90 minutes with Krunic? The guy is famous for giving away the ball. Everyone has seen how many balls they've given away Krunic. But Pioli doesn't see it. Everyone has seen that Castillejo has zero talent. Pioli doesn't see it. Everyone has seen that Salamaker can't make the final pass. Pioli doesn't see it.
yeah, but what should he do with Salamaker? Who should he have?
No, I
played
know.
instead?
Okay, so maybe Salamaker is the exception. He didn't have a choice. But with Krunic, with Castillejo, with Mate.
Okay,
But for me, the biggest issue is start goddamn Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Put a scare in United. Let him play 45 minutes at least. And then when he's tired, take him out. Don't invite United from the first second into the goddamn game and try to control for 90 minutes. Because all they needed was one goddamn chance, then park the bus, which they did. It's a lot of rant now because I've been building up for this Pioli. Like, I can take it that we embarrass ourselves with Zlatan against Inter. I can take 3-0 embarrassment because Handanovic made those great saves. Okay, I can barely take 3-0 Atlanta. It's hard to me take that we get knocked out in the Copa. We lose against Juventus. How much defeat against better opponents am I going to take from this guy? Listen, Pioli, poof in your face. You fluke, you fraud. You're a fraud, man. Just because you had a good 2020, you're a fraud. I'm telling you. You're a goddamn fraud.
No, I don't agree.
This episode, number 8, listen to this at the end of the season. He's a fraud, man.
At the end of the season,
a fraud shows his face. Maybe you can say, okay, he slipped up once. He slipped up twice. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What the hell is going on? Oh, it's a pattern. It's a goddamn pattern with just losses. Oh, now all of a sudden it comes out. Listen, it's because of the injuries. If Inter were lacking, shut the hell up. You had Zlatan in good teams and you lost those games also. Shut the hell up. You had basically you maybe were lacking three players in other matches and you lost those also. Shut the hell up. You gave away how many points? We were at most we were leading with 7 points, right? Am I wrong or right?
6, I think.
Okay, 6. So we were leading with 6, and we dropped those 6 plus another 9. 15 points we dropped. While Inter gained those 50 points. 15 points this Einstein dropped. He dropped those 6 points and he dropped another 9 points.
Yeah, but we were also the only team, I think, the only team in Europe that hadn't had a loss before that.
You can, that was amazing. That was out of the ordinary. But listen, think about this. You can say that every team has a dip, but the dip shouldn't be 15 points dropped while other team gains 15 points. What does that say about you as a coach? Okay, there's injuries, there's a lot of stuff, but what could have you done better in 6 or 7 important games? What could have you done better? Could you have done some better choices tactically with the formation? Are you training with the guys? Do you see what they're capable of? You putting them in positions where they can't even deliver? So I listened. I thought long and hard about this this last week. What about Pioli? Stop talking about form and Hakan is bad. Yeah, Hakan is bad. Players can dip. Players can all of a sudden play shit because there could be a lot of issues, and you sometimes have to put in the sub and hope that they perform. But what about the coach? Let's criticize this old dude, man. He gave us a half a season. He haven't won anything for us. So let's see. Let's see. 0 to show for. We can go back and tell our kids, yeah, we had a coach, it was in 2020 during COVID where every team were struggling, and he had great performance. He almost didn't lose. And then he lost basically every other game. He gave us like 3 wins in like 12 matches. Yeah, that's it. That was the great Mr. Pioli. Fuck off, man. You ain't shit. You ain't shit, man. You know it. He knows he ain't shit, but he's pretending to be shit by talking about the injuries right now. And I just hope Maldini knows that Pioli ain't shit. All I'm saying, I hope Maldini and Gazidis knows that we make it to Champions League. This guy ain't shit. We need a real coach. We can't have Zlatan be our coach. Zlatan is pointing directions like, yeah, we should do this, we should do that. He doesn't supposed to do that. We should have a quality coach like Allegri, someone who says, okay, Zlatan, sit down, I will handle this. Because Zlatan is also coaching a little bit. Every training I see, Zlatan is saying, do this, do that, do. Because Pioli ain't shit. Tactically, he ain't shit. He has proven himself. If you lose against Gattuso, he's been a coach like what? For us, and then now for Napoli. Gattuso has been losing to other good coaches, and he plays us and he wins.
I mean, what kind of logic is that? Is Mourinho a shit coach because he lost against a shit team in Europe?
Gattuso is one example. Yeah, Mourinho is finished.
Is Pep Guardiola a bad coach? Because he lost.
Mourinho is not a good coach anymore.
I mean, everyone loses game. Klopp loses.
Okay, let me tell you. Okay.
With Liverpool, is he a bad?
What kind of logic is that to defend Pioli? What do you base that on? Is merit anything? What do you base that on?
I'm saying how he has performed with Milan so far. I mean,
he's the best coach.
You are saying we will drop down and go 5th or 6th, but right now we're 2nd.
No, so I'm not saying.
If you are right,
it's a miracle. No, listen. Don't put words in my mouth because you don't understand what I'm saying. I never said we will finish 5th or 6th. If we don't take a Champions League spot, it's like impossible to not make it to Champions League. It's basically right now it's impossible.
Because and why is that impossible?
We had such a good run in 2020. That's it. That's the only reason it's basically impossible. Why is that impossible?
Because
also other teams had other teams had bad performances. Atlanta, Napoli didn't perform good enough in 2020. That's the only reason we are in that 2nd spot. So I'm looking at the whole picture. I just don't look at, we had a good 2020. Pioli's great. Pioli's fantastic. I'm going to give him everything he wants. I put stuff in perspective. I see, okay, how did Napoli play? How did Atlanta play? They played shit. No wonder they're not 2nd or 3rd. How did Juventus play? Juventus had a rough time with Pirlo. Okay, they were winning one, they were drawing one, they were losing one, they were losing against us. They were drawing another, then they won. They had the worst season in like a decade or something, Juventus. That's why we're 2nd, Mr. Pioli, you fraud.
You
Don't you
think
think I
every
see it? You think I'm like, Afe, you think I'm like you and I see just a couple of performances and I think somebody's great? No, man.
But he is the
you are
greatest
seeing these couple of
manager
last
after Allegri.
performances and saying he's shit. I'm looking at the entire season. Do you think every team below us should sack their managers?
Well, no, I
You
don't.
think,
I don't. We're talking about Milan. Why? I haven't
I mean,
analyzed other
you're
teams
saying
below us.
you're saying Milan should sack Pioli because of his.
I think Milan should get a quality coach if we qualify for the Champions League. That's exactly what I said.
I
Because
don't think.
after 6, 7 important losses, then it's a proof that he can't handle it. For me, it's a proof.
Now, I mean, if we go to the Champions League,
What
they're
more
not going
proof
to
do
sack
you
him.
want? Listen,
If
the
we go
games
to
we
the
have
Champions
left:
League, he deserves at least one more year.
Parma, Genoa, Sassuolo, Benevento, Torino,
Yeah,
Calgary, and we have Juventus and Atlanta. So, will you blame him if he loses a couple more mediocre matches to mediocre teams? I mean,
that's if. I mean, if he loses,
no.
and
Will
if
you
we
blame him
drop
then?
down even,
Because obviously you don't blame him for the
obviously, if we
last
drop,
15 performances where we have won 3. You don't blame him then. You only blame him if he continues to lose, not what we have done so far. You don't blame him for 21 results. You only say it's
he's
because of
been here
injuries.
for a year and a half. I don't just because 1 month or 2 months. I'm not gonna just forget everything he has done before that.
So when other teams start to play
I mean,
good,
obviously, if he keep playing like this and drop points, then yeah, I will
so
agree
he
with you.
drops 15 points while Inter is gaining 15 points. And that doesn't say anything about Pioli. That's just injuries.
But Inter is a totally different team than us.
So,
They have
okay,
bigger projects.
forget Inter. We lose 15 points. One game was against Inter. That's 3 points. What about the other points?
But we won our first game against Inter, and we have.
I'm talking about our dip. So we lose 15 points under this guy Pioli in 21. Instead of gaining, we lose 15 points.
But that's just not on Pioli. That is because we haven't been missing Benacer. We have been missing a lot of important players.
Okay, let me ask you like this. How much is it on Pioli then? According to you guys, how much is it his fault? A percentage.
It's not just one person's fault. It's a whole.
How many percentage is it his fault?
I put the most blame on the injuries.
Yeah.
So how many percentage do you put on Pioli?
I mean, we saw against
not a lot, to be honest.
Okay, say percentage.
Because I mean, if let's say percentage-wise, I put more blame on some players that have been having a dip than putting blame on Pioli, and I put most of my percents, more than 50%, on injuries, because we've been the team in Italy that have been most affected by injuries.
Pioli is the guy who had Leao as our center forward as a backup to Zlatan.
But is that Pioli, or is that we bought Mandzukic that has been injured all the time?
No, I don't know whose decision was to buy Mandzukic, or it was Pioli's or Maldini's.
I don't know either, but I mean, he doesn't even have a choice. Who do we have except for Zlatan?
They all knew that a 40-year-old would get an injury sooner or later. So his backup plan, Pioli's backup plan, was like, I'm going to play Leao as a center forward, which he's not. He's a left wing. He's not even a center forward. And he didn't have anything to show for, Leao. So his Leao's backup was okay,
Rebic.
Rampage is not a center forward either. Maybe he's a winger, and he could be a second striker. He could be used as a second striker. So Pioli didn't say specifically, according to my analysis and tactics, and what I need a real center forward, Mr. Maldini, because a 40-year-old will get injuries. I'm afraid we can't count on him. And Mandzukic, we don't know what he's been up to for the last year. So we need somebody who can. But so Maldini and everybody had a discussion. I'm almost certain with Pioli, and they said, "Okay, Mr. Pioli, what do you think about Leao? Could you use him?" Yeah, Mr. Maldini, I think I could use Leao as a center forward and crash. So Pioli, you see Leao in training, so you decided to put him in as a center forward. It was the most embarrassing performance of a football player as a center forward in the history of football. But you alcoholic old man, what the hell is wrong with you? Are you drunk or something? Don't you see this guy is not a center forward? How come everyone else sees he's not a center forward? And you expect him to be the backup to Zlatan? So what are you thinking? He even says in the interviews, I prefer to play on the wings because that's where I belong. I like to cut in. I would like to come in at the wings, not in front. But he plays him as a center forward. No, listen to me. I know. So I'm really worried about this guy. I understand everything you're saying about the injuries, but I'm worried about this guy. He's starting to cost us. He has cost us the tournament. I don't care about the Europa League, but this just a proof. And he cost us a lot of points recently. And I'm worried. And I'm telling you this because when we go to, I don't want it to be just 1 year in Champions League. I want us to continue to play in Champions League. But I know we will have to struggle again with Pioli the next season, fighting for Champions League spot. I'm 100% sure if we keep him, we will be knocked out at the group stage and we will be fighting for the Champions League spot again, like desperate bastards. Again against Napoli, Lazio, Roma, that gutter. We need to be compared to those bottom teams that has historically never won anything. So get a goddamn coach that can carry Milan.
No, I think Pioli should be reinforced in the summer. From the players we have, being second in the league, having Salamaker and Castillejo as wingers, and being second, that's amazing. Look at what Juventus have. Look at what Atlanta have. What kind of players the other teams below us have. They have much more quality, except for
Pioli will destroy it. Even if you give him quality, he will destroy it. I'm 100% sure Pioli will destroy it. He can't handle quality.
He has never had quality. He has always had mid-table teams, and he has performed with Milan.
He has. The thing is, he has had quality, and he have even destroyed qualities, and we have seen it.
When he had quality,
and he didn't manage to
Milan, sort of.
So Rebic has a couple of good games, then he has a couple of bad games. Hakan is totally dead right now. The play that we needed, they depend on the most, and Pioli has no explanation to any of this. And his players loses temper and get 2-match ban for cursing at the referees. Pioli has no explanation for any of this. He calls another coach for your sister this, your sister that. No wonder players act like him. He displays exactly the same attitude as Rebic did against the referee in the United match. Pioli cursing at Solskjaer's assistant, the assistant coach. Yeah, your sister had a good game. Your sister is. The fuck is wrong with you, man? You're a 60-year-old man. What the hell is wrong with you? You're not 20-year-old. It's just embarrassing. You will see Maldini, anybody talk like that? Like an idiot? Whatever he said to you to make you mad, he said, I had a good game, whatever. Just shut up, go hell. So get out of there. What the hell are you doing? Your sister. So this guy is a pretend. That's what I'm saying. Okay, I'm leave the rant so we can have some quality in the podcast. You didn't expect this, guys, right? I'm gonna rant about Pioli.
No, I didn't expect. I expected Hakan, but not.
Okay, now you
on the first game.
Rest of the podcast.
Now let's talk about Hakan for 40 minutes.
Now you guys can rant about whoever you want after the. No, give us your take about the match.
We should talk about the Fiorentina game now.
Yeah, we should leave the United game.
Leave to a positive game instead.
Yeah, at least we
want just name your. Sorry for going off on Pioli, but I can't stand him. I can't stand him losing so many good games. It's been too much.
And just to make it clear, And just to make it clear, me and Ash do not agree with Kian on
And
this.
okay, and just to make it clear, I 100% stand by what I said, and I'm saying this again. If we make the Champions League, and I believe we will, we should. It would be a total disaster if we didn't. I think basically at this point it should be basically impossible to not at least get 10 points in the 10 games left. 30 points is up for grab, and we need 10 more points to basically make it to Champions League, because statistically teams that have gotten 70 points and above, they have made it to Champions League. So 10 more points is needed of these 30, and we are basically clear. 10 or 11, because we are 59, we need 70 points statistically. So it should be basically impossible to not get 10 points or 11 points. then you guys would come out and say, yo, Pioli is trash.
Let's see.
Not even then. Like we finish fifth, and he gets 5 points out of 30. After we like, let's give him another year. Let's see what he does with better players.
I back the manager.
I always back the manager.
And we finish 8th next season. And like, okay, let's see for another year. Okay. No, so man of the match or your flops against United?
My man of the match would be Tomori. I thought he was great. For me, he was the best player on pitch for Milan, and even I think all game for both teams. But the flop of the match would probably be Kalulu and Meite. Meite for the mistake, and Kalulu because he looked insecure and made a lot of mistakes.
Why Kalulu? Yeah, he looked bad, right? I remember Kalulu didn't have.
Yeah, he looked insecure in the attacking phase. He didn't add anything.
United was always attacking from the left, and that's where from that side that Pogba even.
Yeah, that's when he started to struggle when Pogba entered the game a lot.
So do we have a man? Oh yeah, it was Tomori and okay, and Kalulu, yeah, or Meite.
Yeah, Afe?
I agree with Tomori for man of the match, and for flop, I guess I go with Meite as well. I mean, he was okay, but because of that mistake, he cost the goal. So because of that, he's flop of the match.
But no, if I change my flop.
No, you can't.
I forgot. No, I forgot.
I will say what you're gonna say.
Yeah, I forgot about Hakan. No, Hakan flop of the match for me. Yeah, because Meite, I thought he was all right all game, but the goal. But Hakan was undescribable. That
Hakan was it was the worst performance of attacking midfielder.
Of a number 10.
Of a number 10 of any team. I think the Crotone has a better attacking number 10 that Hakan displayed against.
Yeah, that was embarrassing.
That was an embarrassing performance. So he was definitely my flop of the match. I after that match, I said I don't want to see him play if he's not. It was so embarrassing. I can't even put it into words.
The whole attack was horrible. Remember that Casillo chance? He just walked and passed to Kessie too late.
Against United in the second half?
The second half, I think, or the first. Bruno Fernandes made a misplaced pass to Castillo, who was alone with, who was it? Lindelöf. And it took like 5 minutes.
I remember something. Yeah, Lindelöf cleared that or...
Yeah.
And do you remember Hakan's shrug? Like he was just walking and not caring. Dude, after he didn't receive the ball.
That horror movie, a guy.
He's the one who should get the pass, do the passes.
Did you guys see the horror movie a guy put together on Twitter? He called it horror movie Hakan against United with the horror music in the background. It was of all the wrong passes Hakan made against United. It was exactly like a horror movie, man. It was so scary to watch. He made wrong passes. And he didn't he just shrugged his shoulders and didn't care. It was such a weird display from him.
Yeah, he was awful.
And yeah, for me, Hakan was the worst player on the pitch, and then don't think anyone else had a good game either. I think Hernandez was bad. I think Meite was at fault for the goal, but I blame Donnarumma. He couldn't cover his first post, and Pogba managed to, he what do you say? Pogba.
Took his time and then
No,
chipped
he
the
like
ball.
fainted. He
Made a fake shot.
made a fake shot, right? And
Yeah.
then put it in the first post. I mean, this guy is 2 meters long, whatever. He could take the first post. But Kessie could have done better. Hakan could have done better in that situation to help Meite.
Yeah, the ball should have been cleared
Yeah, no,
before he even
no
took the
one
shot.
stepped up, and Kessie is standing there and watching Pogba take the shot. He's like standing 2 meters in
He was
front of.
fooled by that fake shot.
Yeah, he was
That's
fooled
why he
by it.
was 10.
And Kalulu was terrible.
Kalu was
All
just
the time.
behind Pogba, and he was
Yeah,
too late to.
and all the attack was
clear.
coming from Kalulu's side. So there's no man of the match for me. There's just flops. Everyone else was trash. So Kessie had a bad game also. So what's going on? So yeah, that was a bad. People are saying, yeah, we had that goal. We had that game under control until that goal. Like, yeah, but anything can happen during 90 minutes. If your tactics is to defend for 90 minutes, you
My
could let.
prediction was almost right. I predicted a 0-0.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
if
I
we
predicted a
kept
1-1, and I think
defending and Miete didn't do that mistake.
we all were close. It could have ended either way, but again, it was too risky, and he put in Zlatan all too late.
Zlatan had that one chance, but the goalkeeper took it with the header. You remember?
Oh yeah. Okay, again,
Yeah.
another header straight to the goalie. So Fiorentina, we had the 46 marks. Man, I ranted for like 30, 40 minutes about Pioli. I just needed to get that out. I'm not going to rant again. I promise about
We
Pioli.
should change the title of this podcast.
Yeah,
Something Pioli.
Pioli, go kill yourself. Okay, so just Fiorentina game. So better performance. I don't know if we can call it a better performance. It was a shaky performance.
Yeah, it was shaky, but I mean, we made a comeback. We started the game with an early goal from Zlatan and an assist by Kier, and then Pulgar made a free kick, which was amazing.
I
I mean,
mean,
he put it in.
Dalot was horrible that first half and the
Yeah,
second as well. But
Yeah, Lut was that. He was the one who gave away that free kick.
he gave her like 10 free kicks that game, and that was
Yeah.
one of them.
And at the end of the game, he tried to stall the match to just
Yeah.
get 3 points. He got knocked out. Even started to bleed.
And
then
Miete as well. Remember, he tried to stall the game at the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah, yeah, I know. They were desperate to. We were desperate for those 3 points. They wanted to hurt us really bad. So Fiorentina did everything they could to influence the ref. You see how much they screamed at the ref. Even Rudy Reed faked the penalty. Like he wanted to. He just dived in the penalty box. I think that was a yellow. He wasn't even touched. The Ibrahim incident with the Ribéry. Remember?
Yeah. Then the opposite thing happened when they fouled Brahim.
And yeah, Ibrahim, and we saw he dived also.
Yeah.
And they got mad at him. Yeah. So, what do you make of the performances?
I think it was a good game for the most part.
Did you guys felt comfortable at any point that we're gonna get the 3 points, or were you like thinking, man, this is gonna be, because we were leading 1-0 and then we were down 2-1.
Yeah, when we were down 2-1, I was thinking, God damn, this is it's over.
Yeah.
But
2-1, I was like, it was over. But when it was 2-2, I start to believe.
yeah, but for me, it changed when Benacer came in.
Yeah,
that was the best thing with the whole game.
We could see what we were missing.
Yeah,
see what we were missing.
Totally different team.
Wow,
he's such an important player.
He's such an important player, man. He's so comfortable.
That's what I've been saying. Like that's what we've been missing.
The Kessie and Benacer duo.
They are top quality players. So when Hakan was great, when Benacer was great, everything was going better But a coach is put to a test when he's lacking his best players. Maybe he can get away with some draws. Maybe he can tactically do something to change the game. I'm not saying go into the derby and win it with 3-0. I'm just saying like maybe play more attacking at one point and then defensively try to close them in, because if you open up, they will hurt you, and they did. Like Inter in the derby, and then other good teams also. So I'm just saying Pioli needs to prove himself with low quality players, with the substitutes, and he didn't manage to do it in 21. For me, he didn't manage to do it because in 2020 it was easy. He had all the players at his disposal. So and they were all putting good performances. So he's like, yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep doing what you're doing and grind it out and win the games. That's what we did. And all of a sudden, Zlatan hurt, Benacer hurt, Hakan had a bad form. Poof, everything fell down. Everything crashed. And then Pioli is the one who needs to like guide the boat. Like, okay, don't make us drown here. Save us. The waves are getting big. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna do it. Yeah. Oh my god, Lukaku. Oh my god. Yeah. So we came out with a win. Anyways, that was that was needed before the international break.
Yeah, and Hakan was the one that got us the win
My
with
God,
that.
thank you.
He was
Finally,
one of the better players on the pitch today.
he was
Yeah,
actually
Finally,
good.
his first good game
Yeah,
after the Crotone game. So
basically,
he
yeah,
also got almost an assist for Ibra,
yeah, when
but
he hit
he
the
hit the bar.
yeah.
and
With
Zlatan, did
that
you see
chip.
Zlatan hit the bar again in the second half?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
And
was
that was.
amazing.
that
Do you
would have
think
been
that was on purpose that he wanted
yeah,
to?
everything he does is on purpose.
I don't think that was on purpose though, but
We have seen him
If
done stuff like this, so
yeah, we
I will
see.
not be
But
shocked.
if it wasn't on purpose, what was he trying to do?
I don't even
Ash,
know.
what do you think? Was he passing? What was he
Passing it
trying
or
to do?
I thought he was passing or maybe something like a cross or that went
A
wrong.
misguided cross maybe that went to the goal instead. That was a totally misguided cross if it was, because he had one misguided pass during the second half. Remember, he just passed to the side and the ball went out.
Yeah,
That was weird to see from Slat. But yeah, that chip, that was beautiful. That should have been 2-0. Then he
yeah,
would be
he
close
should
to his hat trick in that game. 2-0,
have.
and then I think he would have
that
uh,
wonder goal. Yeah.
yeah. And then one to go would have been a hat trick. Oh my god, that would be something.
His
Yeah,
first
heck yeah.
goal was good. You saw when he shoved the player before he scored.
What do you think about that? You think it was a foul?
No, just physical contact. It was not like he kicked him or anything.
If another
I don't.
player, if the opponent team did that to us, like shoved Kier, and then if Lukaku did exactly the same thing, he shoved Kier and then scored, would you think it was a foul?
It was
I
not
would
like
think it was a foul. I'm not saying that the
no.
ref should have. I think it was a 50-50. But if, like, imagine, I hate Lukaku, and Lukaku shoves like Romangoli or Tomori or whoever, and then scores, I would be like, that bastard, oh my God. I would go crazy, man. So I understand a little bit like Fiorentina, like, oh, he shoved that player. Because he was intentionally shoving him to put him off balance and then chasing the ball. He knew exactly what he was doing because he saw the ball coming and he was like, boom, get out of the way.
And
And
good
now,
pass by Kier.
but that was his what do you say to Zlatan? That's because he's experienced. He
Yeah.
knows that he needs to do those stuff sometimes, and he got away with this one. So it was beautiful. It was beautiful move by him to create that chance for himself.
And then we conceded 2 goals. We were 2-0, 2-1 down.
Yeah, that was bad. I think.
Yeah.
1-1 in the first half, then second half 2-1. Ribéry scored.
I think the free kick was a beautiful free kick. I'm not trying to blame Donnarumma, but listen, we're talking about Donnarumma, one of the best goalies in the world. From that far out, he took the ball, but the ball went in. You guys remember, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think it was just one of those free kicks. That's just
But it was a
it
great
was a
free kick.
perfect free kick. I mean, he put it in the corner exactly where you should put it.
But I have criticized Donnarumma also in the past, and I've been saying this. Like he wants 10 million. Is he worth 10 million? He makes a couple of bad moves here and there. He has done. This wasn't one of them. I'm not gonna put it like a terrible blunder from Donnarumma, but I'm expecting like 10 million goalie. That's one of the best goalies in the world. Like try to at least punch that ball, clear. Try. I'm basically, to be honest, I was expecting him to clear it if he was going to go to that corner, and he touched the ball, but the ball went in. So why is he so soft with his hands? Or I don't know. That looked weird to me. He grabbed he reached for the ball, and he did reach the ball, and but the ball went in. So shouldn't you like poof goal? So what the hell, man? Are you have you loose hands? You say you want 10 million. So I don't know. I'm not gonna blame him too much for that. But that Ribery shot, what do you think? That was nice of this guy, Halovic, or what his name is.
Who? Oh,
Fiorentina.
Uh,
Vlahovic. Vlahovic.
the assist.
Vlahovic?
We have
Vlahovic?
been linked with him for our Zlatan replacement.
Yeah, but I don't
Yeah,
know. Are you guys impressed with him?
He's only.
they want 40 million also for
Are
him.
you? Do you think? Do you guys like him?
Nah,
Nah, not me
I'm.
either. I don't
I'm
think
not
he's
sure
our.
yet.
Nah,
I
because
haven't
so,
seen much of him to
you know,
really judge.
because it was clear going into this match that he was killing himself to put in a good game to convince us.
He scored a hat trick the game before Milan.
Yeah, and he was killing himself in this game too. But Tomori put him in his pocket. Did you see Tomori? How he just closed him down?
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah. I think there was just only one incident that he managed to pass Pioli in the box. You remember when he came around Pioli on the side?
yeah.
That was the only incident the whole match where he managed to pass. Go by Pioli. Tomori. Wait, say Pioli? Man, I have Pioli
Tomori.
in my mind. I want to
And
hurt Pioli. No, so Tomori was great, I think.
of Tomori and Kier, Tomori was better defensively, but Kier was better in the whole game because of those two assists.
Yeah, yeah, care, yeah. And that was nice.
To
He
see a
always
defender get two assists.
sacrifices himself for the goals, and I think it's beautiful. I really love Kier, man. He's great.
After we were 2-1 down, we scored after 6 minutes. Brahim Diaz scored.
And that was also all credit to Brahim, right? Because
Yeah, it was a.
there was a nice goal. That wasn't a tap in. That was a he managed to control himself, like boom, put it up.
Yeah, I thought before that he did not play really good in the first half, but
Yeah,
after that goal, he
yeah,
created a chance for Tio and created a couple of,
yeah. That, yeah,
did some good stuff. But
yeah.
the first half,
And
not that good.
I like that Brahim read that header from Kier and he went for the attack and put that ball in instead of like sleeping. If that was Castillejo or somebody else, they would be like,
Liao, if that was Liao,
Liao would just like flown in with both feet in the face of the goalie or something. He would be like, yeah, Liao would have tripped or some weird shit.
then the third goal, and Tomori was one of the reasons for that third goal. He stopped the ball and passed it to Kessie, who then gave it to Chalanoglu, who scored. So
And that the pass was a bad pass from Kessie. It came behind
it was
Hakan.
it was a bit behind, but
Yeah.
it was
And
beautiful
it was
shot by
crazy
Hakan.
that he could curl it like to the side like that with that shot. It was a crazy shot, but he had a great shot just a couple of minutes before that, right? That
Yeah,
went
that was
out.
really, really close.
It should have been goal, man. That should have gone in. That was like I think 10 centimeters or 20 centimeters,
Yeah, he had a good game.
just out by the post.
Mm.
If we had scored a couple of goals easily, we wouldn't have to struggle against Fiorentina as we did. But
We
they
were
were
the better
lucky.
team, so we
Yeah,
did
we were.
deserve to win.
Yeah, Yeah, of course. I agree.
Yeah.
So, man of the match and flop of the match?
Flop Dalot.
I agree.
And everyone agrees, right?
Yeah, for me
I
also
think so.
flop
I
down.
think
I
so.
mean, he can only perform against United.
Yeah, Dalot was. So, what do you guys? You guys think
He's
we should keep him or let him go?
Nah, let him go.
Mm.
he's the player I dislike the most in Milan, I think. And
Nah,
flop.
for me it's Castillejo, but
Yeah, Castillejo is number one for me. I can't stand him. And then after Castillejo, nah, I need. I still
Pioli.
believe.
Pioli.
I still believe in Liao, but I don't know. I'm starting to have my doubts. Okay,
And
so
man of the
Dalot and
match.
man of the match,
Oof.
Zlatan, bro. You know you're gonna say Zlatan.
Zlatan was good, but Kier got those 2 assists.
But the second
I,
assist wasn't even. It was with his shoulders or his back, or it was weird. But anyways, it was thanks to Care.
Hakan was good. I have to think about that. You can
I'm gonna
you
say
can go
Dalot, flop of the
as
match.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, man of the match. And Pioli. No, Pioli flop of the match. Yo, you can pick the coach if you want. You can pick the coach
Yeah,
if
But
you want.
yeah, you
hats
can pick
off
the
for
coach.
Pioli for not subbing off
Hey,
Brahim after the
Gazetta.
first
Gazetta
half.
always ranks everyone, including the coach. Sometimes the coach
Yeah,
get less than the players.
Mm.
No, it was Dalot and then Zlatan, man of the match for me, because returning from injury and putting in a 90-minute performance.
Did you see the interview he made in Sweden when he talked about after 60 minutes he looked at the coach
Yeah,
and but Pioli ignored him. He
yeah.
was looking if he was gonna get subbed
Pioli is
off,
like,
but
yeah, Pioli
Pioli
is
was
like,
like keep playing
Pioli is
because
like, I don't
before
need
the
any
game was
tactics, man. I'm
planned,
desperate. Just
it,
stay in there.
before the game was planned, it was only gonna play 60 minutes, but because of the situation we were in, he played 9 minutes.
Yeah, that was a bit too long. I was afraid he was gonna get injured or something. So, Ash, who do you have?
yeah. Of course, Dalot as the flop, but for me, the man of the match, it's Kier,
Hmm.
Yeah, it
just
was.
because of the 2 assists and his partnership with Tomori was great. Was great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was great to see
And
Benacer coming back. That was the
yeah,
best
he
feeling.
was
I was
also great.
smiling.
And that was the thing that when he came in, it was a totally different Milan.
Yeah.
Everybody calmed down, and he had the control of the ball, and
He's probably the most talented player we have.
yeah, he's so important for us.
Yeah,
If there's
I
a
think
pure
yeah,
talent,
I
he's the
think
most
pure
talented.
talent that's the one, the most secure player in a position. I think. Okay, maybe Kessie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay,
Kessie
Kessie
is the
and
most
Benacer.
consistent and strongest
okay, consistent with the
physically. Yeah,
and talent because he's young, and that's why you say talent, right?
yeah. But
Yeah,
Kessie is also
the
kind of
more
young.
yeah maybe yeah. Donnarumma is supposed to be the most talented one because he's the
Yeah, Donnarumma and Benacer. I mean, natural talent, raw talent. These two, probably first two
wow. It
to
was
come
great,
in mind.
great to see Benacer, and I hope he has a good game in the next game.
Hope
So
he doesn't get injured again.
he got a knock on his feet, and he was that was a bit scary. Okay, we finish up the first segment here. It's been 1 hour instead of 45 minutes,
Yeah,
and after a short break, not a break, but a breather, we are back with the second half. Okay, so this is the second part of the podcast. We're gonna continue discussing and looking ahead. Coming up is the international break for 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks. Milan is back to playing in the April the 3rd. against Sampdoria.
Yeah. So what about the call-ups? Who's left at Milanello?
I mean, if you look,
Surprisingly, Theo is left out.
Do you think that's a surprise, considering his later last performances? They haven't been so good, man.
Yeah, but just to be called up. I'm not saying to start for
But I
France.
heard like they have great replacements. Like on
Yeah,
the
but people in France newspaper has also talked about why he's
you
subbed out.
should you should you should at least.
They even asked the French manager about it.
Yeah, I know what
I
he
don't
said.
remember what he said.
I know. You know what he said?
He
He
said,
said just because you play for a great club doesn't mean you get to be called up.
mm,
He basically said, "I don't think you're all that. You play for a great club, but you're not all that." And
yeah,
he has the right to think that, because he might want to see even more consistency, because the runs that he takes maybe not enough. He wants to see more defensively. He wants
mm,
to see a more solid defensive left back. I think that's the reason. We also want to see Theo be a better defensive player. Even his offense, like he takes those runs that sometimes, a lot of times, he makes the wrong decision with the last pass. So he has some maturing to do, I think, for Deschamps to consider him. But he should maybe,
he
I
should choose
agree. He
another
should
national team.
no,
I
but
mean,
maybe
he
I
has a
agree.
Spanish passport, and he's also could be play for Italy as well. I think
I don't know who he is competing with. Maybe he deserves at least to get a call up. Like
he's competing with his brother and who is it? Another
his brother's on the
Real
right side,
Madrid. His
or
brother from Bayern München.
he's on the right side. He's not
No,
on.
left. He's on the left, just like Theo.
Oh my god. Okay, then he's better, man. He plays for
And
Bayern and he plays constantly for them. And the backup to him is like probably.
from someone from Real, I think.
Oh my god. So what do you
But
think,
his
Josh?
brother also plays as a center back.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That's the surprising one that he should get a call up. What do you think,
and
Josh?
but what
yeah,
about Italy's
those people
team?
from Italy that was not called up, most of them were injured.
But
Calabria,
Yeah, that
Romagnoli
was
the
injured.
weird.
only the only player from Milan is
Tonali
Donnarumma.
was weird.
Donnarumma is the only one, right?
Yeah,
Donnarumma is the only one that Tonali was
But
called up for the youth.
Romangoli is no longer injured, is he?
yeah, still injured. He and Calabria are. Calabria
Okay,
just had
so
a
that explains it.
surgery, so he will be out
Who else
for
do you want to see from our team? Italian. We don't have any more.
Tonali.
Tonali.
Yeah,
Tonali was
Tonali
called
was
up.
a weird one. Why the hell is Tonali not called up?
I mean, they have Mancini has called up Cristante, Locatelli, Mandrogaro, Pellegrini, Pessina, Ricci, Sensi, Soriano, Verratti.
Oh
That's
my
the
god, you call up
midfielders.
Sensi and you don't call up
And,
Tonali.
ba- and Barella and Castrovilli.
But
I mean,
Sensi, he hasn't done shit.
yeah, I thought that Tonali should have been called up, but he instead got called up for the youth team, the
Oh
U21.
my god.
Gabia was as well called up for the 21 team.
Tonali, poor guy, called up for the youth team. And you got Sensi,
Yeah,
who's been
yeah,
injured
that's
like for 6 months, and he hasn't played anything, and he gets the call up. That's weird.
yeah, yeah.
But
It's weird
Mancini,
seeing only one Milan player in this Italian team.
yeah, that's because we don't have so many Italians except
I
Calabria,
mean,
Romagnoli, and Tonali.
And Gabia.
yeah, but they should. I mean, if Romangoli and Calabria wouldn't be
Donnarumma.
injured, they would be called up.
They usually get called
Yeah, I
up.
think Calabria would definitely be called up.
Calabria should start, I think, for
Yeah,
Italy.
I think he should
Who
make it.
else? Florenzi or
And
Lehan?
Romangoli was like I don't know if he was a starter or if he was a backup. I think he was a backup.
He would at least be on the bench.
What is he playing? Bonucci and Chiellini and those players still?
And for other teams, Hakan was called up for
Yeah, they play
Turkey.
Achebri. I think they play Achebri or whatever from Lazio.
Yeah, Acerbi and Chiellini or Bonucci.
Yeah,
Or that Italian Inter defender, Bastoni or something.
yeah, Bastoni.
But
Yeah.
I was shocked when I saw so many players from Milan being called
Inter.
up for international duties. We have like basically more than 10 players that are called up.
Yeah, but a lot of our players also, because of injuries, like Rebic wasn't
Yeah,
called up.
wasn't called up. Yeah.
Liao isn't called up.
Oh, Leao wasn't called up. Oh yeah,
No,
No,
because
he's
he's
not.
he's
injured. Yeah.
injured.
Yeah.
Zlatan is called up.
Of course.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, we should talk about that
Yeah, it's gonna be
because
great to see him play.
that's like a comeback for him. When was the
5
last time?
years. It's been 5 years
5 years.
almost.
Yeah, it's
What
gonna
do
be
you
great.
guys think about that he came back to the Swedish national team being 39, almost 40 years old, and
I think his. I
we,
think
as a
his.
Milan supporter, for us,
I'm
how do you
glad
feel
for
about
him, but
Okay, if you say
as a
as a Milan supporter, I think
I'm worried,
it
obviously.
depends. It depends. Listening to his press conference and his interviews, I saw another interview he did like for the Swedish national team before the press conference for a week ago. He's so humble. He just talks about like he's not expecting anything from the coach or any special treatment or anything, and he only wants to be there to help out the team, and he doesn't expect to play 90 minutes, or he doesn't mind starting on the bench and going in as a sub. He wants to help out the team on and off the field. So I think if we can find a good role for him and not like count on Zlatan to play 90 minutes every national game, and use him in the important ones and sub him in later in the less important games, I think it's not such a bad deal for Milan. Maybe we could that way we can have him like continue like building up his play also, because he's such a player. He gets better by playing if he doesn't get injured.
Yeah, when he's
But
on form, he has been playing his
I don't
plays better.
think Janne will Andersson. We talk about the Swedish head coach. I don't think he will use him as a in 90
They play with
minutes.
two attackers, and
Yeah,
Sweden played 3 games.
we have Isak and we have Berry, right? Still
Who? Yeah, but
Berry,
yeah,
yeah, Marcus Berry.
Kulusevski, but he's on the
So
wing.
so you have Berry. Marcus Berry will get playing time. Isak will get playing time. Zlatan will get playing time. Zlatan will get subbed off. We will
but
count
what
on
if
him on important matches. I'm not that as a Milan fan. I don't think it's such a bad thing like for a player to go into
If he
play.
didn't have the injury problem, I would be all
yeah
on
if
board
he
with this. But
yeah
because
if
of the
he
injury problem, that's why I'm a bit worried.
But
and
his
the
injury
age
problems, yeah, I know he has pulled a couple of
I'm also
injuries.
worried for Benacer. He just came back from injury and is called up for his
Yeah,
country.
because it's so important for his
Playing
country.
three or 2 games,
I
so
knew he
that's
would. I'm more worried about Benacer now because it's so important for his country. He will like go and
yeah. It's the what's it, FIFA World Cup qualification there as well. I think.
okay. As Swedes, we know it's great for Sweden that he's back. It's the best thing for the national team that
Yeah,
Zlatan is back. That's the only reason I want to see the national team play.
but we can't see it live because COVID restriction. So
Oh yeah, no, we can't go to games now. But
yes,
it's going to be really exciting to see
he
Zlatan
will
back
be
in
on
the national
Friends
team.
Arena in 2 days
I think.
or
But
three.
what
Two.
do you think, Ash? You think it's negative for Milan, but as a Swede, you think it's good?
I think it's negative for Milan. Yeah, he's almost 40 years old. He has a lot of injury problems. What if he gets injured? And I mean, who should we blame? But only him. It's his fault if he gets injured because he took this decision to go to the national
But he
team, and
didn't
we have.
take this decision by himself. He said in an interview the club sees positive, looks
Yeah,
positive at this decision. So he
but I
could
don't.
have stated in his contract, "You're 40 years old, you can't play for national
But I
team
don't think they even expected him to
to
go
play."
to back to the national.
Yeah,
When they signed the contract with Zlatan, he hasn't been playing for the national team in 5 years. I'm
I think
not.
it would be really difficult to try to stop him if he wanted to play for a national team. And Maldini says, "No, you can't." He's like, "What? You can't
Yeah,
decide if I want to play." Yeah,
But he's not gonna play 90
but
minutes
but
every
I,
game.
no. But
Which is
even if he plays 45 minutes and gets injured,
there's this there's this injury situation, but I'm not that worried. I don't think he will get bad injuries, but if he gets a bad one, that would be a disaster.
and the first games for 2 games for Sweden are
Easy ones.
qualification games. The third game is a friendly. So We'll probably miss that game.
The tough opponent Sweden has in the qualifier is the Spain and Greece. So
Yeah, not
Greece,
this week.
no,
Later
not
on.
this week. Later
Yeah.
on. So Spain is going to be a difficult one, and of course, and Greece could be a challenge, but I think Sweden could pull that off.
Yeah, the first game is against Georgia, whatever that is. I mean, it's an easy game, and on the 28th they have against Kosovo.
Mm.
Um, so it's easy games. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know. We shouldn't even play these games.
but
I mean,
you have to admit it's exciting. It's exciting for you to see him in the national team.
yeah, I mean, it is exciting as a Swede, but I mean, these are the types of games that Sweden would already win without him. Georgia and Kosovo. I mean, yeah, against Spain that would be great to see him, but yeah, I don't think it's worth risking when we have 11 games left in the season
We have
to
10
have
left.
him 10 left in the season
Mhm.
to have him get injured.
Hmm.
Because right now, if he gets injured, we have Castillejo back on top again.
Yeah.
But let's see how he hopefully doesn't get injured. Um, but other than him, I
What's
mean,
the situation with Mandzukic? When is he expected back?
I don't even know. I don't even think he will come back.
Oh,
I
come
remember
on,
I remember 2 weeks ago they said
you
after
spend
the
money on him.
international break. I remember 2 weeks ago they said he will be back after the
Yeah.
international break.
Yeah, I
So
think it was. They said after international break, he should be ready to play some minutes.
yeah. Who else has been called up? Hakan for Turkey, Donnarumma Italy. Who said that?
Maybe Akin can find his form again, playing for the national team. You know, that's the other thing. Some players manage to find better form when they play for the national team. They come back better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
get
they
more
do.
match fit. They get more match fit. But I agree a little bit with Zlatan. It's really risky.
Mm.
Yeah,
Kier was
that is.
also called up for Denmark.
Yeah, that is also risky. He's also an injury-prone player.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we have a lot of injury-prone players. So
Yeah, but right now, yeah, man.
Yeah, but he and Zlatan are the worst ones, and Benacer.
mm.
And you guys saw he get emotional when they talked about his family and his kid,
Yeah, I
yeah,
saw that.
Zlatan. He's been away from his family a long time,
yeah,
back and forth, Sweden,
Where
Italy.
does his family live in Sweden?
Yeah, they live in Stockholm. His kids go to school here, and they wanted to have a stable home. They don't want to move around too much. So the deal, what I read was the deal was like Zlatan gonna be living by himself in Milano, which is the it has done during since 2019. He's been living alone without his family in Milano. They've never been with him. They visit him, of course, and he visits them.
But I mean, during COVID, they weren't even in schools and stuff like that. Why
Yeah,
wasn't his family with him in Italy?
yeah, they've decided to have the life here. They like to live in Stockholm. They want to be in Sweden. They want to be with their friends and grow here. And during COVID, yeah, there was like schools were on distance, or like tutoring was through online. But yeah, so he sacrificed that a lot of family time, and then when he gets the question, he gets emotional.
Yeah,
And of course, it's really, really tough. Imagine I'm a father, and if my kids were growing up, and I had to be away for a couple of months because of work, and then somebody asked, "So, do you miss your family? How do they react?" They were like, he would like start to cry immediately. So that was a tough question for him because he has sacrificed a lot. Because like I said, man, he has proved himself. He doesn't need to prove himself at 40. He could have ended. Like, he had a bad injury after United. He went to US, and he could have said, okay, you know what, maybe I'm not gonna continue as a player. But he managed, but he decided to do it, and it meant a lot of sacrifice. And the decision he took was that, okay, he needs to. And he's a guy, when he commit himself, to commit 100%. He's not like other people, like, okay, I'm gonna half commit. He committed
Mm.
100%. So he told his family, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to get a home. I'm going to be here with Milan. He said, like, Milan is his family. The boys are like his sons because they're like 20-year-olds, 22, 23. Of course, he has kids that are 16, 17. So he feels like they're really young, you know? So he's like, they're like a second family. I have to take care of them. So he says he feels responsible. That Pioli even told him. He said, Pioli told me once when I was heading back to Sweden, he's like, you can't go. I need you here. The boys need you here. Your other family needs you. That's how desperate Pioli was once. Zlatan said, you remember that interview? Zlatan said, I told Pioli I can't take it anymore. I need to see my family.
Mm. That was a long time
I
ago
think it
now.
was after
Months ago.
2019, in and during 2020. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a long time ago. It was during 2020. But he said, I can't take it anymore. I need to see my family. And Pioli said, please stay here. We need you. And then he decided, okay, I'm going to stay. So, yeah. So he's a special guy. He's a unique guy. I don't think a lot of 40-year-old people would do that.
I never seen a
I've
39-year-old
never
player
seen it either.
still
Never.
perform at this age. So
Never.
let's see how many
It
years
has
he
never
has.
happened as a forward to perform, to score in 15 goals in 15 games.
Yeah, and he broke a serial record for that.
Yeah. The
Oldest player to score for 15 goals.
He's exceptional.
Yeah,
For
and
his mentality is weird.
everyone's favorite player, Alexis Salamakers, was also called up for Belgium.
Was
Did
he
you
called
expect?
up?
Yeah, did you expect that?
No.
Him and Lukaku, like
Him and Lukaku on top
Lukaku
with
be like, you're
Mertens
shit, man.
and Hazard.
Why you
Nah,
called up? You're shit.
but maybe that's because that's why he got called up because Hazard has been
But they
injured.
have Mertens and who else?
Kevin De Bruyne.
Oof.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you play for Milan, you automatically get called up. That's the thing. A lot of the Krunic is called up for the Bosnian national team.
Yeah, and Kalulu for French U21.
Kalulu is called up.
For 21, Brian Diaz for 21.
Castillejo is
Hauge
called
for
up for the Spanish national team as a center forward.
no,
No.
Hauge is for Norway. Who else?
Castillejo is not even called up. He's been playing for like 3 years with Milan. It doesn't even get a call. They're like, man, you wouldn't even be our fifth choice.
But on the Zlatan thing, did you guys see what shirt number he will have?
Yeah, 11.
Yeah, he said that Emil Forsberg offered him the number 10, but he said no, he wanted to start a new chapter. So Isak gave him the number 11, and Isak told him, give it back to me in 6-7 years when you retire from the Swedish national team.
Isak will probably retire before him.
Yeah. Isak didn't dare to say anything else. He's like,
He could not say no to that.
he's like, yo, Isak, how you doing, man? He's like, yeah, what's up, Zlatan? He's like, yo, I want your shirt. He's like, yeah, man. Can I have it back when you're done in like 20 years? Because you don't know what to say to Zlatan. It's crazy. He's like, are you going to play for 1 year, 2 years? How long you going to be here? He's like, yeah, you're going to have it back.
Yeah, but he also said that he doesn't really care about the number, and it's not important to him.
Yeah.
He could pick any number. Just give him something.
And he said, and Granqvist is our captain. I mean, it's the coach choice who the
but
captain.
Granqvist maybe it will. I heard
not play.
It will not play. Then maybe it will be Zlatan.
Yeah, probably.
I think coming back to the national team, he should be captain. As long as he's in the national team, he should be respected as a captain, I think. I don't mind Granqvist be the captain. Of course, he has earned it. But I think, like, as a fine, nice gesture, Granqvist could say, like, yo, man.
The coach said later on,
I want you to be the captain.
The coach said later on he will be, if he keeps playing, the captain. But right now...
Yeah, he needs to learn.
He just join the squad.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, like, the captain, you want the captain playing 90 minutes, and maybe I don't want Zlatan to be
maybe Emil Forsberg should be.
Pressure. Then he feels the pressure to perform and play 90 minutes, and then he's going to get injured. So have Granqvist or someone else captain that can play for 90 minutes.
Forsberg. He's one of the
Yeah,
candidates.
maybe next in line is Forsberg.
Do you guys think Zlatan will play in the World Cup? We know he will play in the Euro, but
They
in the
asked him
World.
that question in the
What
interview.
did he say?
He said, "I don't know if I have this form. If I keep playing like this,
Yeah,
then I will play for 10 more years.
not even
But
he knows if he's gonna play for the World Cup. I
but
think
everything can change. Yeah,
he's one injury away from like ending his career. One bad injury away from ending his
he
But
career.
said the same thing for renewing for Milan. I mean, he said if my form is like if I
Yeah, yeah.
my physicality is like this, then sure I will renew. And
That's
but
what I'm saying. He's one injury
we will
away
see.
from renewing with Milan, one injury away from ending his football career altogether. One bad injury,
but
and hopefully he doesn't get that.
yeah, yeah, but that would be sad if he ended his career on a horrible injury instead of
Not a
being at the top.
horrible, but an injury that would see him be away for like 3-4 months. I think sad. It would be like reality. Like, yo, you can't fight the time. You can't like fight it. So you did everything you could, but one injury and gone for a longer time, and then that's it. So I think that's why he wants to like take every chance opportunity he have, like play for a national team, play for Milan, take it day by day, see how long he can play. I'm expecting him to renew with Milan, but gradually I will expect him to play less and less for Milan. Like we will get a center forward who will replace him for next year. That's 100% sure.
Yeah,
And we will
we
like to,
have
we will
we
we
have
will
to.
like to play him from the start. The quality center forward that we will buy. So that means that Zlatan needs to come off the bench,
Yeah,
and
I mean,
that's how I see it. That's how I see it.
yeah, yeah, me too.
I
Yeah,
never seen in my entire life a 40-year-old play at this level. We're going to compete in 3 competitions again. Then it's going to be Champions League, Copa. We're not. So Zlatan is good for some games, and maybe he can play like almost the entire game. But I expect him to come off the bench and play like maybe start some games, get subbed off, come in. Like he will gradually accept that role as a backup, like as a not a 90-minute player. So that's the reality in 1 year time. I think we will see it after this summer. We will see more and more of that. We have to adapt the playing for us the tactics surrounding him and the new center forward. So, guys, we are nearing the 90-minute mark. So, the coming weeks during the international break, what should we talk about? Are we gonna
um,
do podcast or not?
yeah, we can do a podcast. We can maybe speak a little bit about this if we hear some rumors or news, and maybe talk a little bit about the old Milan, the glory days. But we
Okay.
can figure something out.
Yeah. So probably we're gonna have one episode we talk about and the history of Milan or something like that, and a couple of memorable games, and one episode we talk about the future of Milan after the summer, new signings, and
Yeah, who we would like to buy and stuff
who
like
we would
that.
like to
No,
keep, who we would like to buy, and what our alternatives are for attacking role, right?
yeah,
Okay, so we're
Yeah.
gonna do 2 more episodes during the coming weeks.
yeah, and then we can also speak about some of the Milan players' performance in their national teams. Also,
Yeah.
if Zlatan scores, or let's
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. Okay. Okay then. Okay. Is there anything else we'd like to add before we close up the shop?
Mm, mm,
No.
no,
Pioli, you suck. I'm just kidding.
no.
No, I'm not kidding, man. I think he's bad coach right now. Oh man.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, you remember Allegri? He came from,
He
he
came
was
from
in
nothing as well.
nothing, and his first season with Milan, he won the league, but the second season wasn't. We were second,
Did,
but
did you guys hear what he said in the interview? Allegri said,
No.
no, I didn't hear.
they asked him about Juventus and Milan because he has coached both teams. He said, "What's the difference between them and the different DNA?" He said Milan has the show DNA because of Berlusconi. He made Milan a showpiece. Like every team was looking at Milan and said, "Oh, they are so beautiful." Because you guys even do you guys know that Berlusconi picked players because of their how they looked? Do you guys know that about Berlusconi?
I
No.
know that he wanted to have superstars in the
Yeah,
team.
Yeah,
and it was important for him that they had good looks. He said the image of Milan is really important, so I can't have like a donkey looking player.
But we had Ronaldinho.
Yeah, he's the only exception because he was magical. So like because Ronaldinho had the charm, you have to have the charm. If you don't have the looks,
wasn't Berlusconi mad about El Sharawi?
yeah,
How his
because of the
hair was.
mohawk and yeah. He always, anyways, he said that the Milan was like the show team, like, and I don't exactly know what he meant with that, but it was something like it was like a trophy team that Berlusconi built, and Juventus was the working team that the Agnelli family wanted to from the beginning make Juventus the representative of Italy,
Juventus is a cheating team.
the biggest team of Italy. So that's he said their goal was to make Juventus the biggest team of Italy, and Milan became the show team or whatever I meant with that. Anyways, so then he said Milan hadn't won anything for 7 years before I came to them, and when I came, I won the Scudetto for them. So he
Who?
was
Berlusconi or Allegri?
Allegri.
We had one
Milan
before
had
him.
it. Milan had it won. He said
You mean
Milan
the
had it
league?
won. Yeah, the league.
Yes, the
Milan,
league.
he
He
said
won the
Milan had
Champions
it,
League.
yeah, Milan had it won the Scudetto for 7 years,
Yeah.
and then when I came, I won it for him. So he was saying like it was thanks to me. He's
thanks
looking
Yeah,
for a job. That's why he's looking for a job, and he says he was offered a job like
in Real Madrid, but he turned it down a couple of years
because
ago.
of what? Because he
He
wants to
was,
work
he was no, he
after the
was in
summer.
Juventus when they asked him for Real.
Okay, yeah.
but I think he's
after
gonna
this
go to the
he wants to play.
yeah maybe. But I think he's gonna go to the Premier League.
Arsenal, hopefully.
Yeah, I don't care. He's a closed chapter for us. I don't care about the league.
Yeah, he's a
He
close
did.
chapter.
He wasn't that great, so he's like Pirlo for me. Went to Juventus, go screw yourself. Like I'm smiling on the inside when
Do you have any Milan
Pirlo.
managers that you like?
Ancelotti. What are you kidding me? He's the biggest legend of any coach in the world.
Yeah, Ancelotti for me.
That's
Also,
a real coach, not Pioli.
I mean, after Allegri,
Pioli.
we've been having
Allegri 10 times higher than Pioli. My God, Allegri have proven themselves more than.
What about Montella?
Yeah,
and Gianpaolo?
Gianpaolo was the best coach in
and the
Milan.
other 10 coaches we had before Pioli.
Seedorf, Inzaghi.
I respect all the ex-Milan players. Seedorf, Inzaghi.
Yeah, I respect Seedorf and Inzaghi.
Do you respect all ex-Milan players? Everyone.
No, of course you're gonna.
Even Bonucci.
Oh, okay, get out. Bonucci. He played this summer for us or whatever.
He was a captain.
I just like.
Yeah, he was our captain.
I just like to finish off with saying like, thank you, Simone Inzaghi, for defeating Juventus.
Yeah, what a coach.
What a legend.
He's better than Pioli as a coach.
No.
Ash is awfully quiet.
Huh?
Huh?
No, I mean, it's always great to see Juventus lose, and but Ronaldo was really great that game. Man of the match for me.
Man of the match.
He was the man of the match. I mean, I saw the stats. He was.
How can a losing team have a player that's man of the match?
Man of the match.
They
never heard of it before. Ronaldo came through.
He broke a new record.
Another day, another record for Ronaldo.
Yeah, he even managed to become man of the match and they set a new record even when they lose.
He was presenting a trophy
it was
before the game.
for us that Juventus lost.
Yeah,
it was.
It was great. We get a breather.
Now we are
Yeah.
four
We're
points ahead.
we're 1 point ahead. If they beat Napoli, we're just 1 point ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
How
great.
can they lose to Benevento, which is like the 16th place team or something?
they lost to Fiorentina 3-0 a couple of months back.
I mean, I heard that the game they were in control of the game and they should have won the game like 4-5-0. But
Yeah, their goalkeeper was man of the match.
Crazy.
yeah, their
They-
Benevento goalkeeper was the man of the match. He turned into Oliver Kahn.
Like Juventus missed like 7 or 8 great chances in front of goal. They missed them all. So I don't blame
Yeah,
Pirlo saying in
Morata.
the interview afterwards.
Yeah.
It says like this was crazy. Well, put away your goddamn chances. He basically said it in the interview. In the post match, he didn't took the blame by himself. He said like, this is the teams. He said, why are you playing like that? He congratulated the Benevento team. He said like, I'm congratulating because they played.
Oh, Pirlo.
Yeah, because they played good. He said basically, yeah, we played bad. I don't know who he was pointing fingers at. Maybe Arthur because of that pass.
Yeah, Arthur made that mistake to let it go.
Who the hell passes across the ball right in front of your goal? Not even looking to see if there is a forward there or anything. Oh man, it was great to see them lose
And
anyways. I couldn't believe it. Someone told me, I was at the dinner party and someone said, Juventus lost to Benevento. I thought they were joking. I was like, yeah, right. They lost 1-0. I was like, my God.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. So we have 10 games left. I think Inter could lose 1 or 2.
They need to lose 3.
I know they're gonna
Yeah,
win
sure.
the Scudetto, but I think it's gonna, if they lose 1 or 2, it's gonna close down the gap.
Yeah, what if we snatch the title at
Then
the end?
Pioli can stay. Then Pioli.
Then you're gonna say sorry to Pioli.
Do an episode.
We made a whole episode about
Yeah, I'm just gonna say
Pioli.
I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. No, then 100% is the best coach in the history of Milan. If man, he's the
History of
best.
football.
He's better than Ancelotti if managed to win. But screw 15 points. There's no comeback from that. Not even Zlatan can help him out now. I'm sure Zlatan's thinking, man, if only I didn't get those injuries. Maybe
And Benacer.
Yeah,
Benacer as well.
Yeah, Benacer was tough also. Okay, guys, let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll be back next week with a new episode.
Next week.
Talk about during the international break. Let's see what the episode will be about. Okay, until then, Forza Milan.
Forza Milan.
Forza Milan.